Hey everyone, it's day 4 of my particular run sets here, so let's go ahead and dive in and talk about this one. Oh, Pyrite Gorge. Probably one of my favorite maps for thinking of challenges on. I will definitely say though that one thing has never changed across every single instance of it, and that is basically to kill or be killed. And today is probably one of the best examples of that. The game punishing our defense, health, and attack. We really had to make sure we didn't get destroyed before the enemy did. Now, the increased stunning duration, it's not really a tough contract. All you really have to do is just dedicate operators to take the hit instead. I guess with the defense down that could hurt a little bit, but still, not much of a threat in the first place. I will definitely say though our challenges were going to be interesting as well. Now, granted, the supporter ban doesn't really hurt me. I don't really have a lot of developed supporters, so not being able to have my suzerain, who I didn't even use in the first place here, it's not going to hurt me at all. Shifting Crown Slayer was, yes, definitely a silly contract, but I actually had to figure out how to do it, and honestly had some difficulties with it. I'll get into that a little bit, but yeah, it took a few tries to actually get it to work. I don't think that one counts, though. Now, compromised position was also a pretty interesting one as well, as I had to position my ops as losing the good tiles too early would be very devastating for my runs. A little bit of management and a little bit of planning ahead of time, but overall not too bad of a setup for how things are. Now, this will be with doing a complete max against all the contracts on the base game as well, so we'll see how this goes. Anyway, the beginning of Pyrite is pretty much the same as it always has been. DP raise to get as many DPS ops out as possible, and without messing up the order, as the stun crossbowmen can be a problem. Now, the first big issue was the standard crossbowmen. With our defense tanked, they would be able to really shred through our ops like nothing. Thankfully, today we're going to be using another form of defense called dodge, and Beehunter is definitely going to make sure that they really couldn't do a thing about it, drawing all of the aggro and taking all the stuns as well. Now, with that out of the way, Crown Slayer begins to make her appearance, and now I need to figure out how to take her out quickly and also perform a shift bully on her. Now, I did try both Feeder and Cliffheart, as you did see at the beginning. I did kind of have some issues there, and it did take some time to figure it out. I ended up finding out that this position actually worked out best with Cliffheart, because one of the interesting things is slowing her down on her approach actually makes the timing of that next wave of enemies cause a lot of issues that you never would have thought of. From stunning Surtur to eating up the blocks, preventing Crown Slayer from using up her dash. Now, doing it this way though sped up her approach, giving us more time to deal with her specifically before the second wave of enemies would arrive. Anyway, with Crown Slayer finally out of the way and already has been shifted, we can now focus on the next stage of things. With the major DPS needed out, we can now make some adjustments by bringing in Kyobe and also growing with Beeswax. Now, Kyobe would help control the right side against a lot of the very, very heavy defense enemies, as well as the handful of wraiths that'll be coming later. Beeswax was a new stun target, so Kyobe would never get stunned. I'll also say, with Beeswax's talents and also being within Shining's range, she actually still has a pretty good defense despite defense down. It actually kind of beat a lot of ground characters, which was surprising. Oh, and apparently pillars can be stunned. Pillars in an inanimate object. Stunned. Okay, BRB, I'm going to go attack my refrigerator with a hammer. Anyway, with Silver Ash ready and in position down below Kyobe, and Kyobe herself, the Wraith waves were not really that hard to deal with. Especially since we also had AFELA still in position as well. With those major threats also cleaned up, it really wasn't that hard afterwards. We had to time a little bit of Elysium's ability alongside of Bagpipe's S3, which quickly took out a Wraith leader, and the rest of them weren't really that tough to deal with as well. In a way, this gave us a very easy win. And with that, a full max with all 3 EX challenges as well. Definitely a pretty solid win and very satisfying overall. And that is going to be all for this particular day as well. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying these series as I've been working on them and releasing them. Whether you are a regular viewer or a patron supporting the channel on Patreon, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys all again real soon.